How you been?
Very good.
Good,
Very good.
good. Hey, you're all
Yes.
set up there nicely.
Yeah.
Well, um,
Yeah. What can I tell you?
tell me everything. Tell me what you
Where
hate. Tell me what you love. Tell me
uh
what problems were solved and what weren't solved.
mm,
Let's be honest.
well, the problems that were so acoustics wise, it's damn near perfect. I think it's a little bright, to be honest, for my personal thing, but that's just a matter of getting used to. I think
Okay.
the room itself. However, everything else, the atmosphere in the room and everything else is absolutely fantastic. So everybody who walks in here is like, whoa, this is nice.
Lovely,
Yes.
lovely. Speaking of the brightness, let me just let's address that. If
Yes.
it feels a little bright, where do you think that's coming from?
That's an interesting that's a good question. I think a lot of the slats here on the side, which is of course they're designed to do that, right? And also the slats on the front and the ATCs themselves are very how would I say screamy in the top mids. Well, screamy. They're very high resolution. I think on the upper mids and higher mids, which makes so the room accentuates the speakers more. I
You know
would.
what?
This
Here's here's a solution to the brightness. The first set of slats, left and right, you may
Yeah.
want to cover them with some thin, maybe some get some rigid glass wool panels that are just cut. Take the rigid glass wool, cover it in some fabric,
Yeah.
and glue it or staple it on behind the panel and stick it over the slats, just there, just in that section, and see if that solves that issue. Okay.
Mm-hmm. How thick would you recommend it?
5 centimeters would be more than enough, probably.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Even 2.5 centimeter. They make the thinner ones too. It
Right.
can it 2.5 probably will do it. So you might want to try that in your spare time.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever spare time you got. People tell me, well, in your spare time, so much spare time.
Yeah, what spare time? It's yeah, that's about that. There's some things that I still need to fix, like this behind the door. This is
Uh-huh.
just like the door and the double door I installed, but it's like a thick curtain, like I don't know how you call it in English. It's a
Yeah.
molton. It's what we call it. It's a
Yes.
like a
Yes.
thick flame
You know what you
retardant
could do? You
fabric.
could make one of those, the 108 boxes, 108s in my folder, and build it
Yeah.
over the door so it just fits in between the treatments above the door. And then inside the door, you can cover the side of the treatment there that goes to the door, cover that all the way to the door, the top of the door, and down to the other side of the treatment with a thin plywood. 3 millimeter
Okay.
plywood is enough, and cover it and close it, and
Yeah.
that'll dress that and also actually helps the trapping.
All right. You said 108, right?
Use the 108 and build it in between the treatment above the door. Just make it wider than it is designed, and just put one
Yeah.
piece up there and kind of match it in there and make it fit.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just like how you say like a frame for some glass wool basically.
Yeah, basically that's really all you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So basically everything that you don't like make a frame with glass wool, slap some fabric on it and push it right in there.
You could do that. It's fine. You know,
Like yeah.
it's not that I don't like. It's just I got a little system going, and I think it looks pretty, don't you?
It does. It absolutely does. And I have to say it's like perfect for like a DIY solution because everything in here is what I can say I can build myself.
Yes.
I, and
Yeah.
I, and I did, and I did. Like for the most part, like AC, I can't do myself, but I got someone that that's no problem. But everything else, I basically did myself.
Yeah.
So it's feasible. I would say for someone with that does not have two left hands to build something from their
Yeah.
own two hands. That's very cool feature, I think.
Well, what
Yeah.
else? Tell me more. Tell me more.
What else? Yeah, probably one of the bigger things to address was the sourcing of specific materials, like
Mm,
especially glass wool. Was
yeah,
very hard to find gas flow resistivity or just overall density for material because
yeah.
they don't like gas flow density you can sometimes get a hold of, but like density you can forget it.
You know what?
Uh,
Here's
what?
something. Here's something we have learned. We have done a lot of testing, and I found out there's a lot of materials data out there, and there's quite a few papers written about a calculation that you can do according to GFR, and GFR will determine the absorption characteristics of this fiber product.
Okay.
False, completely false,
All right.
wrong.
Okay.
It doesn't work that way. So you can go online and look at these calculators. You can enter your GFR, or your density or whatever,
Yeah.
and you come up with the wrong answers. But we
Okay.
need real testing data because just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's like acoustics is super complex, and there are
mhm,
like 1,000 factors at play that are not apparent to the naked eye, or even to the not naked eye,
yeah,
I think.
yeah. So we've we've had changes since I did your design. There have been changes. There have been
Yeah.
updates. We're finding out new stuff all the time. I was talking to a friend. He will remain nameless for now. Old style designer,
Okay.
Tom Hidley type, Philip Newell with the waveguides and hangers and stuff like that. And we have no testing data on them because they don't work.
Hmm.
I used to do them. I used to do them all the time. I mean, I have studios with waveguides and hangers. Um, we learned that they just don't work the way we thought they did, and so we have to improve things. We have to change. Okay, let's don't do that anymore. Let's do this.
Yeah.
We have testing data on these things, so because I have no data on that.
Yeah.
Um,
How that's something that would be interesting to me is how do you test like certain, how do you say, elements of that? Like, do you have an anechoic chamber and test like only the acoustical effects of those or this kind of element?
yes,
How
sir.
do you work that?
Yes, that's exactly what we do. But it's not my lab. I use the NWAAlabs.com up in
Ray
Elm,
Sorrow, right?
Ron Sorrow,
Ron
yes.
Sorrow, yes, yes,
And
yes.
he runs the largest reverberation room in the world, and it's rated down to absolute certain to 25 hertz. It's you could probably get 20 hertz out of it, but
Damn.
it's accurate to 25 for damn sure. And
That's very cool.
we've tested products like Owens Corning Pink, which
Hmm.
performs the absolute optimal for 8 inches deep. If you're
Okay.
doing that, Owens Corning Peak, it is 38 kilos per cubic meter, or what's that, 2.8 pounds per cubic foot.
I don't know. I don't do imperial.
Okay, yeah.
I
Well,
just do metric.
if you look at the density and the product type, that's important. We've tested both. Say, for instance, we've tested Rockwool, Rockwool
Yeah.
bricks at say uh, 48 kilograms per cubic meter,
Yeah.
and we've tested Owens Corning 703, which is 48 kilos per cubic meter. Same density. The glass wool, the Owens Corning 703, which is rigid glass wool, it's made of some sand. Rock wool is made from basalt. They work completely differently.
Yeah.
The rock wool
But have
does
same.
not perform as well as the glass wool.
Yeah.
Just
That's what. That's
I didn't
yeah.
know. Long ago I didn't know this, and because the only data we had was data performed in smaller laboratories, and it only goes down to 125. That's all you can get is down to 125 hertz.
Hmm.
Best you can do.
Mm.
and it gives approximately the same numbers in those small labs. But when you get into a high resolution laboratory like Saro's place, oh my God, you can see the difference in the charts. You see how they, one rolls off like this, the rock wool will, but the rigid glass will come way down like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Interesting.
it's just
Yeah.
different, and you can't substituting things. Sometimes okay, and other times it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't have the data on that. I don't know if you should do that. Kind of
Yes. Thing is, Owens Corning is not available
not
with
available in
us.
Europe. No, I was looking into that myself. There is a company in Norway, and we successfully found some stuff in Norway. It's called Glava, made Norwegian Glava, and they make a glass wool. They make a 48 kg. They make a heavier stuff as well. They make a softer, 32 kg stuff or something like that. And then they make a 48 rigid and whatnot. So that works. That works in
Okay.
place of the 703 or the Owens Corning, and it's glass wool. So there's that.
Yeah. Can I send you a link of something I used? So I used the Ursa SF38, if
Yeah.
that tells you
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Send me. Yeah, the 38 kg. And is it glass wool?
Yes, it's Caswell.
Yeah. Magic bingo. If you send me that link, I can share it with others in Europe because they need that.
Yeah. It's fairly affordable, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what is this? And yeah, I had a very how do you say, a very fine yeah, a good time with it, if you like to say.
Good time. I have a client in Ireland right now that needs some of that stuff. So yeah, I need to get that to him.
Yeah.
This is so good because we're able to talk about it and share what we found. Okay, this is beautiful. Let me see that.
So this is a
Yes, all right.
German site, but you can say it in whatever language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Different thicknesses and everything.
Oh, lovely. It's a beautiful thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Johnny Bravo on you. Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
go
I'm on.
nuts. There's one very interesting thing that I absolutely wanted to share with you. If I
Okay.
can just arrange this, 1 second, is the limp bag absorbers.
Uh-huh.
When I made it, so I got the 50 micron LDP,
Mm-hmm.
which was not a problem, but how to seal it? Since I honestly I was not 100% behind the how do you say, the ironing
Yeah.
method
Yeah.
with like basically vacuuming it. So I found a tape that made a gas seal, which they use in construction to make a gas seal with exactly those kinds of foils. I'm gonna show it to you.
Okay. Oh, beautiful.
It's the also from
Ursa is
Ursa.
beautiful.
Yes,
Okay.
it's like extremely thin, and
Uh-huh.
it's very adhesive, and it sticks
Very
to foil.
sticky. Yeah.
Yes, and I closed up all of the limp bags with this, and this forms a gas seal. This might be interesting to know.
Perfect. Perfect. Did you use it only on one side? I mean, did you fold it around the glass wool
Yes,
and then tape it? Perfect. That's
yes.
good. The
I
less of
I
that you
always
got, the better it works. Yeah.
Yes, I always looked at basically the side facing the room is free of adhesive or of anything like this.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
mass of the side that's facing the sound basically is uninhibited.
Right. Right. Yeah. Very
So
good.
like the like workarounds like these.
Well, I'll post
Yes,
these links in the video. I'll post these
yes,
links. Yeah.
absolutely. So Ursa in general is a company that I found quite a few tools to build, which were of high quality and very useful.
Marvelous.
Yes. What else? Power wise, because we had to do it like official, and there were guys from like the city here and checked that everything was up to code, especially like basically only with power,
Mhm.
fire extinguishers, and how do you say, points of exit, like if
Yeah,
there's a
all the
fire
good
and
safety
yeah.
stuff. Yes, sir.
Yes, the good safety stuff, exactly. And they checked
Yeah.
all the power connections and everything. And we did like what you said. So first of all, the power in here is like that quiet. It's like I've never heard a single hum or a single interference or anything. That's like perfect. The power cabling I used was like twisted 2.5 square millimeters with a how do you say,
Metallic
like a,
shield, metallic conduit.
yes,
Yes.
yes, it was
Uh-huh.
woven conduit, and I
Uh-huh.
daisy chained it together
Mm-hmm.
on every like breaker point.
Mm-hmm.
I daisy chained the shield together, and on the what's it called? The on the breaker box, I terminated it to ground,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's perfect.
And it's
Just for
sweet as
interesting.
cherry pie.
Yeah, yeah. That's power is really really good. I'm
Good,
very
good.
very satisfied with that. Yeah. What else? Um, Honestly, yeah. Like we already discussed, wood is was very expensive. Of course, exactly in the time I started to build.
Price has decided to jump double. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Tell me about
yeah.
it.
Um, yeah. Everything else, because the design with the subwoofers, because we were discussing, yeah, back and forth because of the subwoofers and with the 12-inch and everything. And then I honestly decided on myself to install the new ATC subs, the install
Mm-hmm.
ATCs. Pretty sure I got the first ones in Austria because I have serial number 11 and 12 worldwide
Mm-hmm.
on
Very good.
the subs. Yeah, and I just plugged them into the hole where, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like that was just a like a basic workaround, because the plans you sent me were for your 15-inch designs, but I
Right.
like scaled it down for the 12-inch. So it's just a tower now with the subs and satellites on itself.
Lovely. It works.
Yeah, it works.
Hey, buddy.
What else? Curved rear wall. It was a bit of a pain to install,
I know,
but
and I'm sorry.
yeah,
But if it's
that
any
was fun.
consolation, it's any consolation. I torture all my clients, so you're not, you're not singled out.
Yeah, no, I do believe that, but and I do want a great room, and it's if there's paint, sweat, and tears in there,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
noticeable.
This
Mm,
is the way.
yeah, I know. This is the way. No pain, no gain, as they say.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Um, oh yeah, the space coupler is, I think, the name for the diffuser on
Yeah,
the cloud.
yeah. I call it the butterfly coupler. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's actually damn. Come on. Um, brain fart. Name's gone.
Happens.
Yeah, the
Happens.
guy that
Take your
invented
time.
it. It's his design,
Okay.
and I just stuck them together at the corners, made them
Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah,
Russ
I made
Berger.
it.
That's a Russ Berger design. Okay, acoustician from Dallas, Texas. He's been in the
Okay.
business forever. Good guy, really knows his stuff, and he invented those a long time
All
ago.
right. What exactly? What is the underlying? I mean, it's a diffuser, right?
It's a diffuse. Okay, the way we're using it is we're using it to take anything that goes up towards the cloud and direct it straight up into the cloud, diffuses it into the cloud, so it becomes a little more absorptive. Also, what happens with
Oh.
the surface edges, Max, please. He's laying on the floor, laying, because he hears
Yeah.
somebody. Come here, Max. Stop it. Stop. Come on, baby. Come here. Silly. Little monster dog. He's all silly. Oh, he's getting all silly. Come here. Come here, little boo.
Aw.
Ojo boo boo. Ojo boo boo. I have to talk to him like Ace Ventura, you know.
Yeah.
Ojo boo boo boo. Ojo boo. Oh, Max. Poor little Max. Did somebody wake you up? Did somebody wake you? Oof.
Barf.
Go lay down and be quiet. You be quiet, okay? Lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Okay. Okay. So, before I was so rudely interrupted, talking about the edges of the space coupler, the sharp wooden edges, the downward edges of that thing, create diffraction. When sound waves strike it, they will diffract 45 degrees from the surface, this way and that way.
Like
this causes
the
a diffractive bloom.
diffractors
Yeah,
on
all
the
those
side?
too. Those two. But the space coupler creates a diffractive cloud overhead that will mask your desk reflections. It helps to mask them. It doesn't succeed totally, no, but
Yeah.
it helps mask the desk reflections.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'll just send you a link for the
Yes, please. Oh
thingy.
yeah, thank you.
And about the space coupler, I looked at you sent me the build plans for that, and I was like, I'm sorry, but no, I can't be bothered doing that because there's like half like millimeter insertions and thing. That was I
Oh, the
looked at it and
sides,
I was
how we
like,
fit it all together. That's how our shop
yes,
does it. Well, yeah, all you
yeah,
gotta
that's
do
that's
is
beautiful, but I can't.
you just roll up the blade in your table saw until you've got a Nerf cut going in. Then you just slide them through, block, move it over, do it again, block it, move it over, and you only do the outside edges like that. Then you take all your pieces, you stack them all together, and you mark where you want the cuts. They go halfway through, and you do the same thing in the table saw like that, and go through and then when you get it, take the pieces and you stack them together like that. You just put them.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you one more link.
Okay.
Look at this thing.
Hmm.
I slapped 3 of them together.
Well, there you go. Yep.
Like I
Yep,
cut
yep.
I cut the
that'll
cells
work.
out
Yeah, that
of
works.
one
Yeah,
of them and
baby.
just slap them
Yeah,
together.
not a problem. Not a problem.
Great.
Basically,
The
this thing.
cells the cells on this one are a little bit smaller than on the plans that you sent me.
It's fine.
Yeah. That was like, okay, I really don't want to do that. I just improvise from something.
Mine are not a direct copy of Russ Burgers. They're not.
Okay.
They're designed at a slightly lower frequency. They're 4 inches gap. They're 4-inch holes. These are probably 3-inch holes. It's fine.
They are.
Okay.
Give me a sec. Oh yes. Yeah, these are 3 inches.
Yeah.
76
and ours
millimeters.
Ours are 6 millimeter thick instead of 12, which give you less specular reflection. Now for the 6 millimeter thickness, we're going the actual reflection frequency at that width is above 20 kilohertz.
Okay.
So I mean 12 millimeter gets maybe 19 kilohertz. I don't know. It's above most people's hearing. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, the diffraction just creates this bloom of diffraction that helps mask the desk. That's all. So it's all good, man. That's great. It's a good deal.
Fantastic. That's nice to hear, because it's a little bit of a deviation to your design, but I was looking at it and was thinking that's like very minimal.
Yeah, sort of, kind of, maybe, but not really. It's all good. It's good.
Yeah. Fantastic. And as you looked at the RumiQ Wizard file that I sent you, it looks like even I can look at it and say, oh yeah, that's good.
Pretty good. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
that's really great. I'm so happy that. So I'm curious, in the future, what we should do. We should measure the room and I want you to measure at mix position and move it back and move it back and move it back, and maybe move it a little bit forward too, to see, to show what the world, what that rear wall is doing.
Yeah.
Because normally we see a huge dip in the low frequency, in the low mids, and somewhere that's affecting your mix. And that's what I'm trying to solve with that rear wall. It'll break up that low frequency. When you're in a room, you have a speaker playing here, the pressure wave is going to slosh, bam. It's no matter what kind of treatment you got on that wall, it's going to attenuate slightly, but then it's going to slosh back and forth maybe 50 times or more.
Yeah.
And before it's attenuated to where it's not creating comb filters. So the only other option is not only absorb it, but to break it up. So that's what we're doing with the curve.
Yeah, and we also did the how do you say, the double ceiling? So the ceiling I hang down in front. There's like the English words are escaping me today. I'm sorry. There's also like an egg crate thing on the front ceiling where it allows
open cell. Yeah,
exactly, the open cell. So I did that too. I think that helps. And above the ceiling is also like something like this in glass wool.
It's good. It's a serious trap. So what happens there is a closed drop ceiling with normal ceiling tiles does tend to create a pressure trap. So you got the pressure effect. Now, with the pressure trap, the absorptive material isn't really working in velocity. It does a velocity thing, but it lessens the pressure effect, actually. If there's air in there, then you get the pressure effect. But above the drop ceiling, you're not really getting the bass into that fiber to let it really absorb it. So by having open cells up front, it allows that bass to go up in there and go down that narrow passage between the ceiling and the drop ceiling, and then it pressurizes in the back like that, and the fiber will do the velocity trapping through that. It does a pretty damn good job.
Yeah. Yes. Because as we can see, we have a build-up on like 25 hertz or 27 hertz, I think it was, but that's barely noticeable, I think. I personally think. And worst case, there's also a AVAA. I followed the discussion, but it's barely noticeable. You know, the AVAA, the active bass trap thing is. No, I haven't got one, but I know of studios that have got several of these, and it's like it does not substitute a good studio, but it's like helps with the last like 2%.
It does work. You need a lot of them, and it gets expensive. And like I said in the group I was talking about, just get one of those bass mods from Real Acoustics, and done. One of them will do the job of maybe four to six of the AVAs, and the AVAs are $2,200 each. The bass mods are $600-700 each.
Yeah, but the bass mods uses more space.
It does, but still.
The room where I heard them in was a WSDG designed room. Also mastering room, but it was quite cubicle, I would say, and they had 2 of the AVAs in there, and that was a rock solid room. It was a rock solid mastering room.
Okay,
kind of boring, I think, sounding, but it's solid.
Okay. Well, this has been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope it's been educational for people watching.
I hope too.
Yeah, really thank you for the links, and thank you for all your work and your efforts.
Thank you, John. Anytime, really. I honestly, I wish to continue to learn about acoustics, because it's such an interesting field, and it's so, how do you say, non-trivial. Like all of the problems in acoustics are like basically non-trivial, because it's a wave expansion, which is very hard to, how do you say, imagine and calculate, because you have a time thing that you have to
Yes,
address?
just think of fluid
Yes,
dynamics. That's
it is
really
fluid dynamics.
what we're dealing with. Yeah.
Yes, and there's everything is interfering with everything else. That's
Yeah.
I think what's making it hard, because the air molecule that's in here gets affected by air molecule back here in like a couple of milliseconds if it's in
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah. What helps this um is the mix. If you can make it mix really well, if you start with your dimensions so everything mixes, in other words, all your modes are lined up and they're equally spaced and they're all like smooth, that'll give you the best response in a room. And then you add things like diffusers and diffraction units, and that continues to mix it a little more. So it makes it a little more homogeneous. It's like,
Yes.
you know, we want homogenized rooms rather than just raw rooms, like raw melt versus homogenized. I'm joking.
Yeah. No.
But
I
yeah.
feel the room is mixing very well. I have before we go, I have one more question out of my interest. You said, I think in one group post, that the diffractors on the sidewalls in front of the limb bags are basically just for listeners' enjoyment, since they do not add any. I mean, they do not absorb. Of course, there's no absorption material in
Well,
it per
no, they
se.
do. They do absorb. Okay.
They do.
When you diffract a frequency, a wave or a ray, it doesn't matter. When a wave or ray diffracts over a sharp edge, it's progressing in this direction, the wave
Yeah.
this direction, it'll diffract at a 45-degree angle. You're
Yeah.
turning it, you're changing
Yeah.
direction. When you change direction, what happens along this edge? It heats the air.
Yeah, you break
Heats the
it.
air, and
Yeah,
that's a
sure.
conversion to heat, and that equals absorption.
Yeah,
So
okay.
diffraction
But
equals absorption. So you're getting probably 6 dB of absorption at those frequencies that it diffracts.
okay. All right. Okay. And on the like a double slit experiment. This is how I imagine the
Okay.
diffractors working, since we're working
Okay.
with like fluid dynamics, and light is basically fluid. Like wave expansion is
Mm-hmm.
somewhat like fluid dynamics. Let's call it with that. You would create a new wavefront on the back of the diffractors. Is that right? Since you
You
have
would.
a bunch of new slats, and all of those are basically new wavefront creators. Is that
That
correct?
is correct. Now, at the upper frequencies, it's going to be all combined, all these different wavefronts. Okay.
Yeah.
Low frequency, however, it's just pressure. Remember pressure. It's just pressure. It's going to push on one side. It's going to create a vacuum on the other side. There's going to be lower pressure, and the
Yeah.
pressure that's going to fill it. So it's going to go
Yeah.
through and fill, and it's going to pressurize that, and it's going to continue through.
Yes. And the limb bags on the other side dampen
Will
that
react to the
effect.
pressure. Right.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, yes.
So there, the pressure, the long wavelengths don't see that gap. They don't see the slats because it's too small. They
Yeah.
may see the overall opening. We got a 2-foot opening by an 8-foot tall opening. They may see that, and they may respond and react to that a little bit. Okay, so there's that. What was 64 centimeters is like what's that, 500 hertz, and 2.4 meters is like, I'll have to
A
look it
lot.
up off
Yeah.
the top of my head.
Yeah, I know.
But like, Einstein recommended that you don't memorize stuff, that you look it up if you know. I know where to look it up at. So
Yeah.
I save the space for thinking.
No,
I don't
it
know
is. It should be.
if that's a valid thing or not, but that's what I tend to do.
Yeah, it's not. It makes you not intelligent to know 1,000 formulas. It's to know, okay, what kind of formulas do I need and where to find it to solve that kind of problem.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
think.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else?
There's a lot else.
There's a
But,
lot else. Yeah.
but can we do it in
Else.
4 minutes?
Uh, I don't know. I have an analog setup here, tape machine. That's basically not interesting.
Cool. What machine is that? What is that?
That's a Revox A700.
Oh man. Oh nice. I've worked with a lot of
Yeah,
877s. Max, please, not now. Oh, great.
that's
What is it? A quarter track or half track?
it's unfortunately quarter track
Come here, Max.
stereo.
Come on. Be good, please. Come here. Come here. You want a treat? Come here. Come over here. Let's get him a treat. So he can be good. Max needs to be good. Well, quarter tracks are great. They're fine. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but never mind. We don't want to even go there. Don't think about replacing the heads, changing them. No, I don't do that.
Nah, I'm honestly more thinking of selling the machines because I have two machines and I use them so rarely, and they're not like, you have to invest so much for tape machines to actually sound like beneficial to
Yeah.
what you can do in digital, to be honest. And I don't think that's worth it for
Yeah.
most of my work.
I would absolutely love to have, the Ampex ATR 102
Oh yeah.
half-inch head stacks. Just a two-track, not a quarter track. Anything. Just two
Well,
tracks, one direction only. I've
yeah,
mastered a lot of stuff on those.
yeah. I would love for a Studer A80 or something like
Oh yeah, yeah.
that, the tape machine,
Oh
but
yeah.
they're
Mm-hmm.
very hard to get and very
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Speaking of tape machines, MRL tapes are going out of business, and nobody else makes test tapes. We
Yes,
as a
they do.
community,
Honestly,
as a community of recordists, need to get together and put together a consortium that can buy out MRL, their equipment, their manuals, and their technology of how to test this stuff, how to align the machines and everything, so we can continue to make test tapes for all the analog machines, because I don't think it's going to fade out anytime soon. There's not a big demand for it, and doing so is not
right.
a money-making business, but it is a necessary thing that we probably should do. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, and I have one more thing to say. There is a French company, RTM, Record the Masters, that are making new tapes and new tape measures. So I have, because I have all the tape setup. Yes, all the tape setup I have here is RTM. Like their top level brand is like I think an
I've heard of them.
ATR
Yes, I have heard of them.
So yeah, they're fine from what I can tell. That's perfectly fine, and so
good to know. Get me a link. I'll put it in here too.
New companies.
Yeah, get me a link. I'll put it in here as well. Okay,
right here.
We're gonna have to close off because I gotta go.
Yes, thank you so much, John. Record the Masters. Thank you for the talk. We can do that again if you would like.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, let's do that. Let's plan on it. Okay.
And I'm gonna send you a link on that. Yes, let's do it. Just write me whenever.
Okay, send me a link here.
And here you go.
Great. Okay. See ya.
Okay. Thanks. You. Bye.
All
Bye,
right.
John.
Cheers. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.
You too.